live.
Yeah. What are you preparing? You're always preparing. Just go.
Yeah. But yeah, so I didn't have a specific when I posted it, a couple people shared it, and then I was like, oh, I should answer it. I was like, wait, what is mine? Like, I was like, I don't even know. I have two. I think the end of Sausage Party ruined it for me. Not that it was like all amazing movie.
Like the whole beginning didn't ruin it for you.
No,
I was gonna say, I think there's a lot of scenes in that movie that
I know there's a lot of scenes, but it was like the ending was just, I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Sausage Party is spectacular.
It's
spectacular.
Nobody
from
knew
the
what they were
man who
getting
hates
themselves
everything,
into,
so-
right?
Well, I love bad puns. I find them hysterical. I am the perfect person to tell dad jokes too. Like, I love horrible puns. I love the movies that are like animals and then they switch the words to be, you know, like Shark Tales. They have to change all the words to be like, I love that crap. So I loved the idea of it. I actually didn't mind the movie, but then at the end I was like, okay, well, glad I didn't come with a parental figure or anything. But the other one, which no one agreed with me on, and I get why they don't, but to me, I just didn't think it fit. It's not that it was a bad scene, but in the middle of Gremlins, when she's talking about her father dying in the chimney, it's not that it's a bad scene. It was literally out of nowhere in the middle of like this chaotic thing that made no sense to me. And I'm just watching, especially, I mean, I was like 8 when I was watching it, but it's still, and I'm not the only one, because I saw it posted on Google once where they said scenes that don't fit. It was that one. And then someone's like, well, that's important to the story. Why is it important to the story?
No, it's not.
Like,
it's not important to the story in the slightest.
No,
it's important
like,
in a character development standpoint.
Yes.
But even then, like,
not really.
There wasn't, you know, it's like they gave her, they was like, okay, I'm not a Christmas girl. Like, okay, fine. And then, you know, they went into this whole thing about, you know, why she's not a Christmas girl. So I get it. But, you know, another one like that is a lot of people are down on Empire Strikes Back when Luke goes into the tree. It's like everybody just kind of, everything slows down when he kind of fights Vader, but it's not Vader, and he knocks his head off. And then, spoiler alert, underneath it's like his face. Like, there's a reason for it, but it's like the pacing of it, the you know, how it worked out, just kind of like, you know, you can go to the refrigerator for a minute and just get something to drink and then come back and you're not really going to miss anything. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff in various movies. And I think a lot of it just depends on how tuned in you are to it. You know, how are the characters really latching on to you? I mean, I know a lot of people can't watch Jaws nowadays because Jaws is basically just 3 dudes fishing, you know, because you don't see the shark really, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like modern shark movies where you get the shark all the time. So a lot of people struggle with Jaws just because there's so much talking. And I'm like, yeah, but that's what Jaws is. It's character. It's what these actors did with the roles and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, but I do understand that it is in context for now movies, it's a very different, you know, storytelling type. So yeah, I get it.
Probably isn't the same, but it was like just things like Man of Steel, even the Music Man. It was like, I didn't mind it. I'm watching it cool. And then the big fight scene at the end, that was for me was like, that was like 10 minutes too long. I was like, with Tom, I'm like, can I go to the snack bar? And because I'm like, I'm coming, I'm like, it's still going. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just after a while. I mean, it was just after a while. I'm like, okay, cool. We're still going. By the end of it, I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, pacing is important. Comics and movies and TV and everything. How you put it together. It's a Tetris puzzle, you know, when you're creating something. It really is a Tetris puzzle. And you know, sometimes creators are too close to what they're doing to see, you know, sort of like the flaws. Not that anything we do here is flawed at all, but you know,
Totally
but yeah, the pacing is one of the things that I try and talk about a lot. And I don't know that it's really a teachable thing. I think people can be open to understanding, you know, hearing things, but I don't know if it's teachable. I really don't know if it's teachable. And even in that context, pacing from person to person, like the way that they like a story being told, even that's a different thing. So pacing is a hard thing. But it's, you know, as a creator, we have to pace it for a theoretical audience more so than for ourselves. And so that's where I think a lot of pacing kind of gets tricky and difficult. Transitions from one scene to another, like, are they too jarring? Are they too vague? Like, there's a lot of stuff that
Hi, William.
struggles with that stuff. I know I did early on, and I really had to take a step back. Like, how am I moving from scene to scene? And you know, and that only triggered in my head when somebody told me. Like, you know, there was a specific, I don't remember what it was. I read an interview or somebody, and I think it was Jim Valentino, and he was talking about transitions and different ways to transition from a scene to a scene. And I was like, oh my God, that never even occurred to me. I was literally just bouncing like, well, I'm here, and now I'm here, and now I'm here. And
wait, I want to hear what they're saying and when
yeah.
they're doing it.
And then then in my brain, I was like, oh yeah, there's like cool, like subtle visual and verbal cues that you can move into and out of scenes. And I was like,
pull
oh
the
yeah.
audience with you.
but you don't know unless somebody tells you sometimes, unless you're just a savant and you've just got it down.
I think they're out there, but they're pretty damn rare. Like you said,
yeah.
You have to be open to kind of learning about that and kind of click.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to, like, you know, there's a lot of, you know, like we just talked about, Jaws is like an old thing, right? Except that there's, there are things to learn from people that even did it so long ago that maybe it's not as relevant to the modern audience, but it's still storytelling. And so if you go and listen to guys like Jim Steranko and Jim Shooter and these guys that were doing it like in the 70s and the 80s, like, they did it, man, and they built what we're all standing on now. So
And
those guys
Steranko will
understand.
happily tell you about it for 40 plus minutes.
Yes. So, you know, if you can go back and listen to interviews with these guys, I've been listening to a lot of Chris Claremont interviews from back in the day. And I'm like, man, this guy, when these guys talk, they will open doors in your brain. Particularly when you're specifically talking about comics, because you'll just be like, God damn, that's so smart. And I'm literally sitting there like, duh, Tom, you know, but that's what we're here for, you know, is to have these guys tell us, like, think about it this way. And I love that.
True. I'm not.
So do you have a movie that ruined it, a scene ruined it for you?
I don't think so. I can usually survive a film with a weird scene, but what does throw me off, there are movies that I like that are hard to watch because it's like animal stuff. So when you get to like the animal problems, like, it throws me off. Like, one of the perfect examples is a movie that most people have never even seen or heard of. It's called War Horse, Steven Spielberg movie called War Horse, which is basically like I think it was World War I, where they were still using horses to like drag tanks around and stuff. And it's a fantastic movie about this war horse, obviously. But because it's just so aggressive and, like, you know, it's like Platoon, really hardcore, but it's you're dealing with a horse as your star, essentially. So it's really hard to watch the animal get busted up and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, but it's a fantastic movie. But I even have the Blu-ray. I don't know that I've ever watched it since the first time, because it's just like, I know I'm going to have all the feelings, man.
Yeah, where you're like, this traumatized me so much, I don't need to watch it again. Thanks.
Yeah.
That was a popular one. The most popular one was the ending to Mist. Nobody likes the ending to Mist. They were all upset because they're like, we really thought they were going to make it, and we were rooting for them to get out of there.
That's what made it so good. It was like
yes.
such a terrible moment for all of them, where he killed his entire family, was ready to get eaten by the bugs, and then the army shows up. And it was like, who would have waited 2 more minutes, man?
I liked it. It didn't ruin it for me.
Yeah.
And even Stephen King said, obviously,
Stephen King was happy with it. He was like, wow.
He liked the ending. But that was the most popular one. There was 2 most popular ones. It was that one, and it was Anything to Do where an animal dies. That was the other one.
Yeah.
Those are hard.
And people forget too that Stephen King was not his books. They did not have happy endings for the most part. So
No,
it's
they
like,
don't.
exactly. So when they see these in the movies, like, oh, I'm like, dude, true to the book.
Yeah,
I know, and that cracks me up about Walking Dead too, when people are like, when Negan showed up, and I was like, but this is what happened. Like,
Exactly.
did you not read the
I
comic?
think especially for movies, we've gotten into the realm of we know the happy ending is coming, even if it's like a series of films. You know, we know the happy ending is coming, and that's why when we have on the very rare occasion we get like a missed ending, people are just they're just like, yo,
they lose their shit. Yeah,
we're not prepared for this, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I do love happy endings because I don't ever admit it. I do. I am a romantic. You wouldn't know it by reading my damn story because they're tortured constantly. But I do particularly like, you know, happy endings. But I did like that one because it was pretty fucking harsh.
Well, I like any, and I say this a lot. Like, you know, people are always like Sirani said, hashtag Tom hates everything. I don't hate everything. I hate the hype of everything, right?
Yeah, I hate them all equally.
Yeah, I hate the overwhelming hype of things that I look at as kind of just average. Like, I've been here before. I've seen this. Where's the hype coming from? I don't get it. So I always praise movies that, like, if you can surprise me with anything, like if I think you're going right and you make a left turn, I'm going to praise you because I'm like, oh, you fooled me.
Exactly. Like, yes,
I'm looking for things to fool me. Yeah,
because I figure it all out, and I'm that asshole in the movie.
I don't want to see the ending in my brain. Yeah.
Yeah, my poor husband, I'm just like, he did it, and this is why. And I get up and walk out, and he's like, why? Yeah, no, I'm just like, I don't need to watch anymore. I already know. You know what I mean?
I do love a good twist. A good twist.
I ruin them. I ruin them because I think too much, and it really pisses me off because when it came to Sixth Sense, I would have absolutely figured it out. Except my asshole friend was late, and I literally showed up right after it said 1 year later.
The first scene.
So I didn't see
So you missed the most important part there.
Yeah, I didn't even see the 1 year later. So it's not like I knew to think about what happened or ask. As far as I knew,
you didn't know he
it started with him waiting for the kid to come out of the house, and I was like, "Why just does that?"
Like, wait, what? How'd this
missing
happen?
Crucial information.
Yeah. So when it got to the end, I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. Because I would have figured that out in a heartbeat. I would have been like, oh, as soon as he said ghosts don't know they're dead, I would have been like, oh, no, I probably would have figured out before then, but I would have definitely figured out before that. But yeah.
I don't remember if I figured it out because I'm not one of those people, which is fine. I like to suspend disbelief.
Oh,
I'm cool with that.
You're better.
I have fun with it and everything else, but I do. I still like rewatching that one because I thought it was visually interesting.
Yeah,
I like the way it was done. So
I don't need. I'm like most people. I actually don't care about spoilers. I can enjoy a flick whether, and they say it's because I'm a control freak that we like to watch the same thing over and over again, so we can we know what our feelings are going to be at the end. I guess I don't know, some weird shit like that.
That's a legitimate survey or test or whatever they did, that people watch things over and over again because they know all of the roller coaster bumps, and it's a comfort level thing. Yeah.
Interesting. What does it say about those of us who don't do that then?
It probably says you're more adventurous, and just open to possibility and so on. Whereas the rest of us, like me, are just, I sit behind my door, anything past 1989, I don't care. Like, I don't want to hear about it.
Honestly, it is very fitting because I am a control freak and I do love to watch the same thing. Like, I literally, I just watched The Crow over. I wanted to watch Krull and I got distracted, and I watched the same shows. We're watching The Bones again and Chuck again at the same time, and so everything I've seen, I know I like it, so I can just watch it again.
Can I say something? So I was filming the short film this weekend, and we bloodied up the floor pretty bad, but it's in black and white, so we use chocolate syrup, which is what you're supposed to use in black and white. And I was like, I just have this feeling I need to rewatch Dexter. Just like, And then there was
visceral reactions.
But back to what you were saying, Carissa, with the spoilers, right? They did another test on people about how did people deal with spoilers? Like, what happens if you get a spoiler? There's absolutely the thought process that if you know the twist or whatever, right? That doesn't necessarily mean you are not interested in the film anymore, because what they found was that people wanted to know how the twist happened. How did you get there?
See,
what's the journey to the twist, which is as important as
all the time. Laura
You
yells
know.
at me
Like,
all
no
the time.
spoilers. No spoilers.
I tell everybody anything about my story, and she's like, "Don't give spoilers." It's
She'll
like,
tell you the
"There's no
whole damn
spoilers."
story.
It won't make you not want to. It'll make you want to read it more because you're like, I want to know why that twist is there or why.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She'll tell you
I
the
don't
whole
know.
thing. The whole thing.
I will tell you everything. Yeah.
Don't tell you the
absolutely.
whole thing.
What
Yeah.
happens in issue 14?
She would tell me. Lots of zombies. I love it. I just got a page today with the zombie elephant. It was awesome. So
See what I mean?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I struggle with that when I have to like pitch my books. Like I struggle to not tell them too much stuff, but I think sometimes in that thought process, I'm not telling them enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
it's a hard balance.
Yeah. Like you want that
Maybe
elevator
like-
pitch. Like, this is about this and this and this, and if you like that, then you're gonna like this.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
sometimes that's not enough.
And sometimes just zombie elephant is enough to say,
That's
Zombie
right.
elephant,
That's
me
right.
more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So excited. And I love my artist because when I'll be like, I love this, I love how you drew the zombie elephant. He's like, me too. And I was like, good. He's like, I like the leopard too. I was like, I do too. But he didn't make the leopard as zombified as I had liked. But the elephant's great. I mean, you got the ribs showing and parts are falling off. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I
agree.
don't mind spoilers. So I will. If somebody asked me, the only time it bothered me was this one podcast I was doing where the guy was getting mad about stuff. Where he's like, "Well, why does that happen?" I was like, "Read the fucking book." I was like so pissed off. It was like every second was like he was fighting me on it. Like he's like, "Oh well, doesn't that do this?" And I was like, "No." And I was like,
well, yeah, there's people who don't mind the spoilers and are interested in the story, and then there's just trolls.
Yeah.
One
got mad because on the back of the book, it says that they're an angel descendant and a demon descendant. It's like you gave away the twist. It's like it's not a twist. It's literally the whole plot of the story.
That's what
you're like.
Yeah.
So
at that point, you just give up and say, "That nice to know you. Bye."
Yeah, I was like, he's like, you ruined the twist. I was like, okay, well, it wasn't a twist. It was the story.
You think
and
that's the
whole
twist?
point. Yeah. You missed the twist being not the twist. But yeah, so I don't mind spoilers at all. In fact, I'm awful because I will when I have to go watch a series, I prefer it to be over and I prefer to look up the ending to make sure I like the way it ended before I waste 6 freaking seasons watching it and then not like the way it ends. And as a kid, I used to read the back of the book. So yeah, I'm a loser. I like to.
I can respect that. I really can respect that because too many times I'll watch a season or a series and go, season 1, cool. Season 2, oh, okay. Season 3, and then it stops. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Hearing about the ending of Lost, I refused to. I was addicted to the first season. I was addicted to it. And then halfway through the second, I was free during winter break and I never went back. And then I was like, I should rewatch it. And then I heard about the ending. I was like,
yep.
It's not worth it.
That was my opinion too.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Didn't Dexter restart though? Dexter just restarted.
Don't watch that one either.
Don't watch it. It's
good. I'm glad you told me because I love Dexter.
Don't watch it.
No.
Mm-mm.
Damn it. I need new
unless
shows
we
that have
should do is
happy endings.
start one that's like the Mystery Science, Theater 3000 or something for a certain TV series.
Can we
I
rename
love
this
that
show
freaking-
that? Because I feel like that's what we do.
That is what we do. That is exactly what we do. I used to do that as a kid with Friday the 13th because there's not a lot of dialogue or anything. But if you haven't watched it, my favorite Mystery Science Theater 3000 is Alien from LA. So if you haven't watched that, it's on Prime. It's hysterical. The first half of it, the second half, there was no good line, but nothing really good goes on. But my husband and I, it's been like 8 years since we've seen it, and we still like quote lines from it randomly. And you can't ever repeat it to anyone because it never makes sense to somebody until you're watching it. Like there's this really stupid scene where she's like she's looking at a picture of herself or something, and the guy's like, "Dad has a daughter." It's just like the stupidest line you can ever hear, but it's just the way they say it or anything. It just cracks you up. But yeah, Mystery Science Theater 3000 is like hysterical, but I haven't watched enough of them. I need to watch more.
Same.
But,
yep.
Yeah.
I do appreciate though when you can have something, even becomes an inside joke. That's still worth it though, because then it's like,
yeah.
the rest
Well,
of the world can look at you like you've lost your marbles, which is fine because as long as the two of you can go, yeah.
We're gonna rename this
It's all
show
worth it.
Mystery Science Carissa 3000.
Yeah.
There
Well,
we
that was my question that a lot of people didn't understand. Like a month ago, I was like, "What's the one movie that you would, if your enemy can't turn it off, what movie would you make them watch?" And in my head, I was thinking of Mystery 3000 because that's what their thing is. They can't turn it off. And half the people were stupid. But I think I talked about this last week. Some people just were people's favorite movie were the same as some people's things that they would make others watch, and it was just funny to see the correlation of who likes what.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Different.
I'm sure there's a few movies that I absolutely love that like Tom would be all, that would be my personal hell.
That's
And vice
Hey,
versa.
listen,
So.
I'm pretty eclectic in the
You
things
are.
that I
You
like.
are.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like I don't hate everything. Even the
I
stuff
know,
that I
that's-
trash, usually it's not I'm trashing the movie so much as I'm just like, why are you all hanging on this movie so much? Like, what is going on here? I don't understand.
And that's why we
But
like to pick on you
even
and say,
bad
"I'll make
movies
everything."
have like good moments. Like even when I'm like, that movie was really bad, but there was
my
a couple
next
of funny.
question. What's
funny
the
things.
movie that was awful, but there's that one scene? Like I hated the movie The Others. I thought it was the most boring freaking movie ever, and I still think it's the most boring freaking movie. However, the ending made it a little
good.
cooler. We're like,
Yeah.
So I would have figured it out, but I was so bored that I'm just like, when is this over? I wasn't even thinking there was a twist. I wasn't even trying to pay attention to it. I was like, whatever, just end. And then I was like, that was kind of cool. Yeah. So certain movies. So that's gonna be like, what's the one movie that sees it? Another question I had was what trailer tricked you? And everyone misunderstood. There's still really good answers, but when I said tricked, I didn't mean like it showed you things and you were like, oh, I didn't like it. The movie sucked and I thought it was gonna be great. Obviously, that's half the movies, the trailers. Mine was like The House of Sand and Fog. I honestly thought was a horror movie. Like, I don't know. I don't remember the trailer. I just remember watching it. I was like, oh, that looks like it's gonna be scary. And it was the most boring drama-filled thing ever. And I was so upset during it. I was like, I spent money for this. And then I was mad. And I was like, that trailer guy should be fired. And I was like, or promoted. Like,
No, promoted is the right answer. Yeah. He took
promoted.
a shitty movie and made you watch it. Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah,
I'm with you. I can't think of anything specific, but yeah, there's different ones definitely that their trailers. I'm like, oh, that's really. And then I watch them. I'm like, what? That was nothing. I want my money back, damn it. So,
well, I was mad. See, there was
the way it's
another
edited
one-
together and stuff, it makes it seem either more dramatic or more humorous or more horror or whatever it is, and you're like, that's not what the movie was.
No, I haven't seen it. I was starting to watch it. I've been so freaking
I don't
busy.
have-
My kids are off school this week. So
nothing's getting done.
monkey wrench into everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only movie that tricked me as in I was pissed off that the scenes weren't there was Mars Attacked. And it wasn't that it was a
that
bad,
movie was terrible.
but it had none of the scenes that I went to go see it for were actually in the movie.
Right.
Like none of them. That should be
Well-
illegal. That is false advertising.
Yeah. Let me throw this out at you then. Rogue One. Rogue One trailer is filled with scenes that are not in the movie
Yeah.
because they went back and reshot the ending, completely reshot the ending of that movie. So if you watch the trailer, you'll see scenes with like Jyn running along the beach and she's still got the plans in her hand and stuff. Like it is loaded with stuff that is not in the movie because they reshot the ending. So there's that.
Well, there's
And
Marvel.
then for me, I know within the Godzilla community, there's a lot of us that were like, we saw the trailer for Godzilla 2014 and we were like, holy God, this looks amazing. He is destroying the world and we're all here for it. And then we show up and Bryan Cranston dies in 30 minutes and we're left with this nonsense army dude trying to find a nuke. And then there's some bugs that are doing it in a city. And like, this is a terrible movie. Like,
Dude,
take me. I don't want to be here anymore.
my favorite part of that movie was Ken Watanabe. Every scene he was in, his mouth was just open. He was just like,
You know what though? It's also when they
for
put
the
an
entire
actor
movie.
in the trailer. but there's not like I got tricked with Congo. Is that Bruce
Congo?
Campbell was in the effing trailer?
Yeah.
And he was literally in 4 seconds of a smart TV monitor, and I was like, I went for him.
It was. I'm with you. It was only recently. I think it was like a couple months ago. It was playing on TV, and I was watching it, and it's been so long since I'd seen it from the very beginning, and it started, and I'm like, Bruce Campbell's in this?
Nope. For like
I was
3.5 seconds, so they kill his ass.
Exactly. And then
the
I
same
went,
thing
"Oh,
happened. There's a
that's
movie
why I don't
called
remember."
Bats. Yeah, there's a movie called Bats. Same thing happened. Bruce Campbell and Tiffany Amber Thiessen are right at the beginning. And so we're watching this and we're like, yo, what? This is a wild pairing. And then it turns out that they're like a movie within the movie. And then we move on with like the action movie.
Just came
Is
out.
that where Tom got some of his ideas from?
Is Bruce Campbell like the second in running Sean Bean, where every time he's there, they just
He's
kill
always
him?
killed. I love Bruce. He's one I want to hurry up and meet before he like totally retires from everything. Isn't there a movie that just came out with Henry Cavill that he was like heavily said to be in it, and then like he was only in like the first 10 minutes of like a movie within it was like a movie within a movie or something?
Oh,
What the hell? Hold on, I'll look it up because I
You have
just
to look it up. Yeah, because
I know it
I
because
think the last movie with him was like the something of ungentlemanly blah blah. You can
something
quote
like,
me on
well,
that.
I saw it in pitch. I only know it because of pitch meeting. But
Ungentlemanly blah blah. We should make a movie.
I will.
I'm down.
Pending.
Oh, Argyle. You're talking about Argyle.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
but he's in it more than like 10 minutes. But yeah, he's sort of secondary to
Interesting.
everything that's going on. Yeah. Yeah, that was a movie that flopped.
They made
also,
it
by
seem
the way.
like he was like this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not as bad as Bruce Campbell, who's in it for not even 4 seconds of a bad call, and then he's dead in the next thing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get over that.
Although I have to say, I do like things like Congo. It does have a place in my heart. I do like to rewatch it because it's Tim Curry.
See, but that's
we
the problem.
quote
Is
that.
they
My
ruined it.
siblings and I like stop eating my sesame cake. Like,
I
what's
do
the
love
other
Tim
one? Like
Tim Curry.
Kafka. Who is he? Like so,
Exactly.
See, I'll have to watch it again. See, this is where the whole question was: what movie was ruined the first time, but you liked it the second time? So I probably like Congo now that I got over the madness of screwing it over with my movie
Yes.
ticket.
Yeah.
For me, my movie was and it probably still sucks, but I liked it the second time. It was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or so. I like
Mhm.
I
League,
hated it.
yeah.
I think League
So
of
much.
Extraordinary Gentlemen gets a lot of shit, but it's a good movie until the ending.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the ending and you have the super hyper Hyde guy drinking all the juice and turning
Oh,
into
yeah.
a crappy CGI monster,
Yeah.
like it kind of falls on its face.
It's
But-
That would be your movie of the one scene that ruins the movie.
Yeah, but exactly right. But it's to me, it's still perfectly watchable.
I enjoy
never
it. And
really
talk
hated
about
it.
some great lines in there. Just some great,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
liked it a lot better the second time, and I appreciated it more. I
Yep.
should have
Mhm.
phrased the question where it was like, "What scene?" You know, what's the worst scene in a movie, instead of being like, because it didn't. I wouldn't say it ruins a movie, but like to me, well, Sausage Party was completely ruined for me for the ending. I could just stop it before the ending. But like, I guess ruined was too strong of a word where people are like, it's not ruined. I was like, all right, don't take it so literal. Just it's
So maybe almost more. It's like
Did you-
what scene took you out of the movie? And
There
put
you
it
go.
down
Yeah.
to be
And when I
so-
posted mine, people were very like polarized about it. They're
Mhm.
like, this is the best, this is the worst. Like,
Yeah,
da, da, da.
yeah.
So it's just really
In other
funny
words,
to see
normal.
what people think.
I love
sometimes.
I love when they interact in one. I don't like it when they
Mhm.
torture each other, but a lot of them will interact. Like they'll be like, "What?" That's like someone posted The Mist, ruined the ending, ruined it. So then you have the next person saying that's the best part of the movie, and then
Yeah.
the next
Well,
person's
same
like,
thing.
"Oh,
Like
but-"
someone posted, what's that M. Night Shyamalan Signs, where they're like,
Yeah.
where the alien comes out, and everybody's like, but that was the best, right?
See,
So same
Village
thing.
though, Village was ruined for me by the whole movie sucked.
I-
But
I mean, it's
I
M.
was
Night
sick for that
Shyamalan.
trailer.
I can't
was-
watch. I can't rewatch Signs. I can't do it. So
See, that was another thing. Someone said that their scene was ruined by the alien walking across. That
it wasn't the alien.
scariest scene.
That was the
That's the
scariest
hell
part of
I'm
the
with,
whole movie.
I'm with Tom about this. For me, it was the dogs and the animal portion, and
Yeah.
viscerally that man. I'm like that. Nope. I was done.
Yeah,
See, animals.
I love. Yeah, a lot of people said the animals ones. Like somebody said when the T-Rex ate
Legend.
the dog in
I am
Oh,
Legend.
in one of the
what
Are we
Lori?
talking about the same one?
What?
Which one did you say?
The Lost World where the T-Rex eats the dog at the end.
The Jurassic Park one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
but you know,
thinking
some of that
I Am
stuff
Legend
though,
when
it's all
the dog
contextual
got
too.
bit.
Yeah,
Remember?
it's contextual though. Like in that
Yeah.
situation, you didn't watch the dog get chewed to pieces.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whereas some of
I
these,
have to admit, I laughed at that one.
yeah. Some of them,
I would
again,
probably
it's
laugh too.
pacing, it's cutting, it's editing, right? You
It
can
didn't
turn a
bother me.
scene that you're like, oh no, the dog, but the thing is hanging out of its mouth.
Legend
It's
was
like,
another one, Lori. A lot of
Okay.
people said Legend when the dog died.
I Am
in
Legend when the dog died. That was
That was
heartbreaking.
hard for me. Yeah.
You know, because it's like, and I think I kind of played on that too, because it's like here you think it's a boy dog, Sam, and then he starts calling her Samantha, and you're like, oh God, you know, it's a girl dog. It's like his daughter's dog, and then the dog sacrificed itself to.
Wait. It makes it worse that it's a female dog.
I think so.
Why?
I don't know. It was like because it was something to do with his daughter. You know what I mean?
I have personal reasons. I grew up with German Shepherds, and so one was like a big. So for me, that movie definitely, I was like,
I'm just trying to figure out why you're so sexist over here.
I don't know if it would have, you know,
I don't
still
know.
would've been
It's
hurt
just
if it was a
something about
guy.
it. He's like
I was
Samantha.
fine with the dog being slaughtered, but when it was a girl.
No, I wasn't. Well, it's already messed up. But then he was like, Samantha. It's like he's talking to his daughter. You know what I mean? Because so that's when we were all like, oh, I'm so dead. Like, just shoot me. Just end it.
Okay, Mrs.
We found-
what
we
happened?
found-
I know, but I did the exact same thing in my book, didn't I?
Shut the hell up.
I'm like, Prince, this beautiful horse, but it's actually Diana Prince and it's his lady. And oops.
Yeah, that was her revenge. She's like, well, screw that dog.
No,
you
I
did?
just it was one of those like had to show consequences to actions and how like, you know, something
Consequences.
small like picking up a glass had major consequences in the world. And it's
Okay,
like,
but like
how else do you
losing,
get away from Big James? You can't.
Yeah, there's other consequences besides,
See?
you know,
Hugo, consequences. He gets it.
whatever. But yeah, I'm trying to think of the Legend was a good one. Was one. There was a bunch of people that overlapped and had like similar ones, but I love it when they argue back and forth where they're like, that was the best part, or that was whatever. But some people said that's Suburban Film. I don't know what the frick it's called. I was like, what part of that movie did you like? Like, I don't like. Let's see consequences.
Consequences. What's up?
Yeah, it's funny when people, you know, like you said, they chop back and forth with each other. It's funny when I post my movie reviews of stuff. Whenever I say something's terrible, I usually get people coming out like, and then when I'm like, dude, this is a really great movie, you all should see this. It's like radio silence. It's like there's like no reaction of like, oh, you know, like
no one defends the I can see that. Everyone loves to argue. Like I see when people say, what is it? The Marvels. If they say the Marvels sucked, and then the other people are like, oh no, it didn't. And then you have a big argument and you're like, okay. But if you say a movie's good, no one really cares. Sometimes.
Silence. Nobody cares. Isn't that terrible? That's like how social media works. You have to have all hot takes.
Bad. So
I'm even out here. Like there's a movie called Lisa Frankenstein. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
What is it?
Lisa Frankenstein came out this year.
Yeah, I've seen your posts on it, but I've never seen it.
It's Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter. It's her first movie, and it's written by Diablo Cody. So it's a weird movie. It's a really weird movie. It bleeds Tim Burton. Like it is Tim Burton everywhere. I defy anyone to watch the movie and not see Johnny Depp as the monster and who's the chick that he always uses.
I know she was Bellatrix Lestrange.
Yes, her as the girl. Like you can't not see that. But what's funny is I defend this movie even though I didn't really love it. Like there was a lot of people that tore it down, and I was like, I don't think you either got through this whole movie or you checked out Pill in the Bottom Corner, or you checked out too early because it took about way too long to get to kind of the point of what was going on. And then once we got there though, it went into like this hyper Tim Burton creativity mode. And it started to become fun, but you had to sit and wait for a long time for it to become fun. And so right now it's at the top of my list of all the movies that I've seen this year. It is still at the top of my list of everything that I've seen. And people are still like, wait, what? Isn't that at the bottom of your list? And I'm like, no, Madam Web is at the bottom of this list. That's horrendous. Lisa Frankenstein is, it's up here. So even then, even when I'm like defending a movie, people just like, they don't know how to come at me as far as like, how do we talk to Tom about these movies? I don't understand.
Hi, Andrew.
Yeah. But actually, Madam Web now is no longer the worst movie of the year. It is now Imaginary. Imaginary. Yeah.
Imaginary.
You saw that one?
I did. I'm
That's
sorry.
the bear, right?
Oh, I'm sorry too. Trust me.
Is it still in the theater?
Yeah, it just came out last week.
Wait,
Yeah, I
is
was going to
this
say that's
one
brand
worse
spanking new.
or better?
Worse than Madam Web.
How is that
Really?
possible? Is the
Ooh,
bear not
That's
good?
what I said. That was literally my review. It was like, is it possible to make a movie that's worse than Madam Web?
Hi, Matt.
Apparently so.
Challenge accepted, apparently.
I literally was in the theater so bored out of my mind. I was on my phone from time to time. I was
Well,
like,
but see, that's the problem. You were supposed to be using your imagination, and you failed. So apparently, the movie didn't have enough in there.
No.
Is it supposed to be a horror movie? Or
Yeah,
what?
it's a horror movie. Yeah, it's a horror movie. Yeah, and it's terrible. It's
I saw you
Bored
post it.
at a horror movie. That's pretty
That's
damning.
bad. Like I
it's
got yelled at because
terrible.
I like Thanksgiving, but then I was like, "Oh, did you mean as a horror movie?" Because it was funny. So
Well, Thanksgiving is both comedy and horror. Yeah.
it was supposed to be, right? It wasn't.
Yeah.
just me.
Oh, it's both. Oh, it's 100%
Oh,
both.
okay.
Yeah.
Because someone's like, it wasn't scary. It's like, was this supposed to be? Because it was funny.
Yeah. No, it's no 100%. That's
I was thinking a completely different movie, by the way.
You were thinking of
If.
Yeah. No, that's not out yet. That's Imaginary Friends.
That's
That's
what I
the
was
John
like, wait a
Krasinski.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, the one with the
Oh.
bear.
Yeah. The bear.
Okay.
It's
What
so
is
Yeah,
bad.
What
I
is
think
it?
that's a whole like coming off of Winnie the Pooh and Five Nights with Freddy's.
It's not like anything like those movies. but-
The poster made it look like
Might have been better if it was.
Pete Chauncey, he's
guys.
not imaginary and he's not your friend. From Bloomhouse, the producer of Five Nights with Freddy's
Yeah.
and Megan.
Yeah,
that
Blumhouse
explains
has been
everything.
stumbling hard, man. I mean, Megan did
haven't-
well for them last year,
I
but
haven't
the
seen
Halloween
Megan.
trilogy was trash.
I
The
keep getting
Exorcist
mixed
movies were
reviews.
trash.
How
Oh,
about
yeah,
that?
I
They did
was
Night
like, who-
Swim this
who
year. Yeah,
asked for
Night Swim
this?
was trash.
Like they're like, whoever pitched that was somehow was a genius. He was like, hey, we're gonna redo The Exorcist, but not with one girl, with two.
Yeah, that
Hey,
was the
let's
whole
make
pitch.
it. And they're all like, okay. Like,
Okay.
So wait, should I watch Megan or not? Because I've had so many conflicting that I saw the dance in the
Listen,
hallway and I was like,
that's
this
it.
movie's not for me.
That's your high point of Megan, right? Like that's it. This is like Rogue One. Rogue One is a shitty movie until you get to the last 30 minutes, and then you get all of the crazy.
yeah.
But
mess
is it
that happens.
worth watching to those 30 minutes?
No, no, no.
Because I heard
No.
people say it was their best movie, and then again I had people post that
No.
they would give it to their enemy. So I was very confused on
No.
whether I should watch this
It's
movie.
listen. It's not going to be I wouldn't call it an enemy movie. Like it's not like horrendous, terrible. In the scheme of all movies, it's not at the bottom, right? But just from the concept of it, the pacing of it, what happens in it, it's so ordinary. And then she dances, yay! And
It got me not to watch it.
But Hugo, don't you think at some point they have to make money? Like I feel like how are they making any money
Yeah.
on a lot of these movies these days? They're millions and billions of dollars, and they're not making
especially
it
when you're
back.
dealing with franchises. Like it's one thing if you're making your own $10 million movies or whatever,
Like
which is a lot
Dollar
of these low budget things. But when you start to talk about franchises, that's you got to make money on those things. You got to make money on those
Especially
things.
if they're signing people for like multiple movie contracts and
yeah.
good God, they're broke.
Yeah, I mean, when The Exorcist was supposed to be a trilogy, and they've basically just been like, "Shh, we never said that." Shh,
Yeah.
no, don't worry about that.
Never happened.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
I'm glad I didn't.
So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean,
Like-
Megan is definitely going to be an either you love it or you hate it movie.
That's what it
Um,
seemed like. There was
I
like
would
no gray
never
area.
watch it again. Here's the thing, even the dancing part makes no sense because it's not like throughout the movie you see her dancing or being taught to dance or anything. It's just like, oh, she's in the hallway and she's suddenly dancing
Gonna do this creepy dance
with a
to-
knife for some reason.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
that was the entire marketing thing for it. Is they had girls doing the Megan dance and stuff at events, and it was all over TikTok, and it was just like, this is what we're here for. The girl dances, and that's like 8 seconds, and then you have the rest of the movie.
It was all a marketing ploy.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah.
And this is why there's a
Like
movie coming out called
Smile.
Abigail this year, which is going to have the exact same thing, because Abigail is a vampire movie about a kid vampire who, catch your breath, are you ready? She
Does he dance?
dances. She's
The
a ballerina.
Messina.
She's a ballerina vampire girl.
Okay. You said that, and now I'm like, I remember seeing a trailer for it, and
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this?
And again,
No,
I'm not
okay.
saying it's going to be bad, but
Yeah.
it's clearly like
It's
somebody was
clearly
like,
going to be bad.
what if our vampire was a dancer? You know,
Let's make her dance.
And like I don't know, like post theater market. What's that? Streaming?
Yeah.
There's no post theater market anymore. Blu-rays are dead.
yeah, streaming
Marketing
is
study or a
streaming is it.
social experiment. See what it takes.
That's
and
because
what doesn't.
Tom has them all. All the Blu-rays are at his house.
Hi, Brandon.
Do they still release DVDs? I don't even
Yes.
No.
Yeah, DVDs and Blu-rays are still released, but they're
Do they?
becoming more of a niche thing.
Yep.
They're becoming more specialized.
Yeah.
And so, instead of just like Target and Walmart and Best Buy do not carry any physical media anymore.
know. Really?
As far as Blu-rays and movies and stuff. Yeah.
I did
They
not
do
know
not
that.
anymore. Yeah. Yeah, they just stopped. So it's kind of like Toys R Us, right? Remember when Toys R Us existed and there was all these toys, like McFarlane toys are in there and stuff, and then they went away, and all the toy market became hyper specialized and very niche because it didn't have there was no place for hundreds of thousands of units to go. That's where DVDs and Blu-rays are right now. It's a very specialized market, so it's still happening, but usually they come out in like kind of big collectors contexts, usually with like deleted scenes and special cases and all that kind of stuff, because these guys know they're only going to sell about 20 or 30,000 units, and so they have to kind of create a higher price point thing because they don't have the ability to sell 100,000 200,000 units anymore,
Which is kind of hard, I think, in my opinion, because sometimes I know, again, money and they're not there, and I don't buy them a whole lot, but still, I'm going to miss them when they're gone
Mhm.
because the whole streaming situation now, it's like, so I'm going to pay the money, get it, and I don't own it. It's like, oh, if really something happens, I'm like,
And
wait a minute.
be careful, because if you buy something from Prime Video and download it, it can still go away. Like
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Is like
Oh,
now with
yeah,
all the
yeah.
digital thing, it worries me because now it's like I spend this
Yeah.
money either with streaming service or through Prime
Yeah,
Video.
and I was
and
using
I buy it, but it's really not mine. I'm like, that seems to defeat the purpose of me giving you money for something.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah.
I actually downloaded them with this site, this Play
Mhm.
site, but now they're not working on Prime anymore, even if you buy it. So I'm getting frustrated because, like you, I don't want it to go away.
Yep.
So
yeah.
yeah,
And even if people are like, oh, well, I just watched that on Netflix, I'm like, yeah, but it's not going to be on Netflix forever.
Yeah.
Like,
Forever.
that stuff moves and changes and shifts and so yeah.
Yep, so
Like
the-
people
the-
right now, for whatever reason, people started freaking out about 28 Days Later, the movie series about the zombies.
Mhm.
That
Netflix
stuff
came out.
is not on any streaming platform, apparently. And if you try and find the Blu-rays, they're running like $80 a shot for Blu-rays because it's not even in print.
$80.
Yeah, it's not
Whoa,
even in
mackerel.
print. It's not in print on Blu-ray either. So that's
Are they
they're
craving
coming
28
out.
days later? My God.
well. There's
They're-
room. I think what happened is there's rumors of another one coming out
Yes,
like 28
20
years later.
months. It was months
Yeah.
or years.
That's not even the first sequel. They've had two already.
Yeah, it's 28 days later, 28 weeks later, 28 months later, and now 28 years later. Is
Oh,
what
The
there's
it
new
a
is.
ones, they
21.
want to go watch the first one again.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a 28 months one already?
Yeah.
Oh
I haven't seen
yeah.
that one. I have not
Yeah.
seen that one.
I knew about the first two. I didn't know about the other two.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
about that.
I
one.
stopped after. I'm like, I don't need any more.
When did that
28s.
one come out?
A long time ago. Yeah.
Wow.
We
28
could just
months
3D print a car at this point, Hugo.
Actually, the freaking cars now, they have the subscription things. Like you have to pay a monthly fee to use the seat warmers. That was like somebody's, yeah. And and the same thing with somebody's dryer. To get the free air drying, you have to download and pay a monthly subscription or something really
Yeah.
stupid.
I'm like this
See,
whole
this is how
ads for like the smart.
I mean,
refrigerators.
technically, you could own nothing. You could rent an
Yep.
apartment, lease your car, right?
Yep.
You
Yep.
can rent furniture.
Yep.
You can you can have apps. Oh yeah, I mean like
this
Adobe.
microtransaction bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah, this
wanna drive
microtransaction
in
bullshit has
reverse.
gone too far.
I
Do
hate
you
it.
want to turn left, or do you
Awful.
want to have to make 3 right turns?
I'm so mad because like
get out
I
your calculator and we'll figure it out. So
yeah, because I use like what did I buy? There was some kind of video editing software, and I had the chance to buy it for like I don't know $60.
Oh yeah, we were talking about this.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure that I liked it, and then I waited, and I 3 months went by, and I went to go buy it, and then it was a subscription. I was like, what the fuck?
Isn't Photoshop or Adobe or something?
Yep, all of those are too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Monthly. Those are like 80. If you want all of them, it's like $80 monthly or so, or $89 monthly.
Nuts.
It's more than rent.
It's gonna be really hard on me because I have a lot of stuff through my work I'm able to use and everything else. So it's like when I finally go away from that job, they're gonna take all that back. I'm like, but wait, I use that.
Maybe they'll let you buy it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I will, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, when my dad retired, they're like, "Do you want to buy your laptop?"
I don't mind that necessarily with the laptop, but I want all the software that's on the laptop.
Yeah,
that's what they're not going to let me keep. So.
Yeah, I think I'm paying for like the Office for Microsoft Office for like 5 computers, and I only have 1 computer. So like, I'm like, why am I getting? It's like $100 a year or something really stupid. So yeah, I have to go in like 10 minutes because I have another show. Yeah. So I don't know if Lori, you want to show people your Kickstarter?
Throw that up there real quick.
Yeah.
Dude, we've been stalled for like a week.
Yeah.
It's been fun where you kind of like
you're just in that zone. That's just normal.
It's just where you are. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's where you are in the middle of the campaign. So
you get that middle point and it just kind of goes near.
Yeah, where we get a backer, we lose a backer. We get a backer, we lose a backer. We get 2 backers, we lose a backer. So we've netted 2 in 5 days.
I've never heard Tom complain about that ever. So.
But we're still going forward, right? I was at 64. I lost a backer. I was at 63 for 2 days and then went up to 64, up to 65, back to 64, up to 65, 66. It just goes back and forth. But that's where we are. It's 10 days to go. I've been so freaking busy, but I have a sticker, a limited sticker for returning backers, and I have to show people what it is so they know it's there. And I just haven't done it yet. But we've had it since the beginning of the campaign. Awesome. Good marketing. Good job. Yeah, I do. It's funny. No, but he showed up already. He's there. Usually he's the one that insists on being the backer that pushes us over our goal. So he waits until you're like $10, $15 away from goal, and then he backs because he wants to have like, yeah, I did it. I pushed us over the finish line. But he's already in.
Okay.
So, but I know there's still people out there. Just life is so stinking busy. And of course, some people like to wait to see what's in their bank account before, closer to the end, so to make sure that they have the money in there. So
that's me.
But we're so close to unlocking. I think it's $121. We unlock our next stretch goal, which is temporary tattoos, which I think are cool.
And I posted the link, but yeah, tax season. Usually people get money back. This is the first year that I've heard everyone complain that they're not getting money back, and they actually have to pay.
Paying this year.
So yeah, so I posted a link there. You could just search Pale Rider.
The Pale Rider.
No, just make it easy for them. Pale Rider, and she pops right up.
Yeah, and I don't know if I can post a comment.
I can. Something like that.
Oh, you got to do it. I don't have a wrench.
What do you want?
Just the short thing. It's just www.pale-rider.com.
Oh yeah.
Right. I typed in Pale Rider. There it is. Your number.
Yeah,
the first one pops up.
We're the only ones, which was super smart on my part because it's just us. We don't got to compete for the name. So yeah, go give it a look. The art's already done. Like as soon as we're done, we just figure out how many books we need to print and we order the books. That's it. And then I think the books, the turnaround time, it's less than a month. He quoted me 15 days, but of course they're shipping from overseas. So we'll just give it some grace. We'll say 30 days, right? And then when we get them early, I can actually fulfill earlier than what promised, which is new for me.
That's always a happy surprise when that happens.
Right. And then I got some of my issue 4 books in, but those are still, the printer is still taking their time. So I got some of those. Yeah. I got Did Tom shave or was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
he did.
it happens every month or so.
He's all clean. I noticed too. I was like, what?
Oh, it's
the
not
hell?
clean shaven.
Who
It's rough. But,
And then we always
you know,
call him out and call him Babyface on the show. We're like,
yeah,
Babyface.
couple weeks it'll be back to normal-ish.
This is true.
It cycles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have more poker cards to unlock too, man. Hopefully we can get some more. We can break 100. This is a trade paperback, so it's not our typical campaign. We usually get like 140 backers, but again, everybody already has the story, so it just depends if they want the bonus material and some of the cool stuff. So, but again, we're almost at 200% of goal, so I'm not complaining. You know,
Okay.
Everybody's gonna get their stuff, and then we're gonna start on issue 5, which
Dun,
is
dun,
it's a crazy issue. It's nuts. And if my sixth sense, like my Simpsons meter keeps being right, we're in trouble, because if stuff happens that happens in my issue 5, we're in big trouble, guys.
Uh-oh.
Where are you at? Woo, 70
I-
backers.
Well, my one of my pet groomer friends came back from the Comic-Con, so she had to make sure she had enough money. So she got me both into the 70s and into the 2000s. So that'll last until I wake up in the morning when I lose a backer. But
Isn't that always what happens? Then happened on my birthday. I got our first cancellation when I woke up and looked at it on my birthday, and I was just like, okay,
That's
fucking
rude.
they do it while I'm sleeping. It's always while I'm sleeping, and it's
Uh-huh.
kind of like, are you scared I'm going to yell at you? Because I'll still yell at you. But yeah.
Maybe you just wake up cranky and you yell more.
You
You
go.
make fun of me, but it happens that my grooming friends, they will post, they'll say, what's your job? And they'll post,
At-
we're a groomer, and they will get beat down in the comments like they're really these groomers. And we're like, pet
Yeah,
groomers.
like that's
Pet
they're gonna
people,
put that
pet
as your profession. Like you put it on your resume.
Yeah. So it's
Like,
a pain in the
An
ass.
interesting thing to flex about.
Yeah.
Dog,
So,
cat. I don't think she grooms any goldfish.
no, but I groomed guinea pig and I did the nails and a goat. That was not easy.
You groomed a goat?
Yeah, I had to do something with
in
it.
your
It was a long
truck?
time ago. No, I did it in their house, I think.
Okay, I was like, you had a goat in your truck.
Our salamander sold and he's never going to be made again. So
Oh,
I know.
I want
He's
one.
awesome. But you know what? I'm glad she got it because she literally, that's what she wanted. She's
Hey,
like, don't let anyone buy it. I was like, I can't even get anyone the back. I think you're fine. Hi. And do you guys have any, I know yours ended, Tom, right? So you guys have anything?
Yeah,
wanna
we're about to
share?
launch Critter April 6th. Critter will be
Oh,
back for our it'll be a big full-sized campaign. April 6th, which also happens to be International Pillow Fight Day. So just be aware.
Yep.
Just be aware.
How do you know these things? Never
Because this is
mind.
what I do, Lori. This is what I do.
Yes, he is. This is his research.
I'm just gonna shake my head at you, sir.
He just has a
And,
whole calendar, and all of us crazy nuts are all
We
along with the
we
ride.
did a
so it's all
whole
good.
Kickstarter campaign last year for Pillow Fight Day.
Did you?
Nice.
Yeah.
And it was
looking
it was
for- I
very,
don't
pretty
know.
successful too.
Yeah.
Johnny, do you have anything that you want to tell them where to find you or?
Oh, I don't have anything. I'm good.
Well, I have to
Johnny
go.
hangs
a
out with
reader.
me.
I'm
So
just-
wherever
I'm
I
just a
am,
fan.
Johnny's
I
there.
support.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on the non-show and rambling on with us.
It's
Thank you
Mystery
for inviting
Science
me.
Carissa 3000.
Yes,
That's right.
And yeah. So next Monday it'll be at 8. Back to 8. I just had too much. Someone came to me and asked me to do a show, and I was so thrown back because I'm usually the one begging to be on people's shows. I was like, yes. So yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna come
so-
with you and just show up at the show.
Awesome.
I don't have anything else going on tonight. Tonight's the only night I didn't have a show planned. So
All right.
like,
So I will see you
hi,
guys. Thanks
I'm an
for
extra
coming on,
guest.
guys. Bye. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.